welcome to Bickering Book Reviews. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Becky.
And today we're talking about Nicola Yoon's The Sun is Also a Star, which I loved. So it's about Natasha and Daniel, and it's a day in their life, and their lives are irreversibly changed after this day. So Natasha's family is in the process of getting deported, but she's trying to stop it. And Daniel has an interview to get into Yale, the second best university in America.
Good job.
So just different,
Not Harvard.
different things going on in their lives, and then their paths cross. Very similar to the string art going on the cover.
Which is beautiful.
The interconnectivity, which I love in books. I love when books are interconnected.
And I really like the way this book was framed. Like, there's a lot of going back and forth, like Daniel's story, Natasha's story, then a little bit about the father, the history of the mother, the history of this one. And I really liked the way she actually built the narrative.
Well, and then like the explanation of the different concepts that she brings up, like the Rastafarian concept that she talks about. Like, it was all just so beautifully done. It was awesome.
It's wonderfully done. It's nominated for the National Book Award, and I'm convinced it's going to be on the Prince list this year.
It should be. So basically, it reads very similar to an A.S. King book. It is what I had hoped Still Life with a Tornado would have been. It's got the interconnectivity. It's got kind of the almost magical realism to it that we all impact other people.
But it
isn't.
It isn't. There's no magical. It's very realistic. I also really like the fact that Nicola Yoon she's African American, correct?
Right. Her parents were immigrants.
Right. And her husband, I want to say, is Asian, and so she has a teenage daughter, and they saw the fact that there were not a lot of books that her teenage daughter could see herself in. So she started writing these characters that her daughter could see herself in. And that's where, my understanding is that's where the Everything character came from, which is also a really great book. And I just like, it's like she saw a void, that there are readers out there who want to see themselves in these stories and didn't. So she created that, and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, because the way that diversity is handled in this book, it is great. It's
just what it is. It's not in the face.
It's the world. It is the world. And I really like how she presents people's lives from immigration statuses, but not in the same way. So you've got Daniel, whose family are immigrants, came over, doing their thing, making their living. And then you've got Natasha's family, who came over as immigrants. They were on a visitor's visa, which has expired years ago, so now they're being deported. And it's just kind of seeing the worldview from those two very different families. They're also from different countries, different cultures. It's super interesting, and something that you don't really see in a lot of the other books, or even the other books about immigration, or like that have immigration in them.
There's a lot about fate, love, and destiny without this actually being a book about fate, love, and destiny. There's romance in there and there's love in it, but it's not a love story.
See, okay, so it feels like a country song to me, like a Tim McGraw song where like they come, I don't know. It feels like a country song to me, which I thought was pretty kind of funny and sweet.
Yeah.
And nice.
No, it was definitely like you wanted to know what happened. I will say I didn't love the ending because I'm a big fan of conclusions, everything tied up happily ever afterness. And this kind of hinted at that, but it didn't actually get there.
I loved the ending. I loved it so much. It was adorable. I loved it. And honestly, though, I think that Nicola Yoon couldn't have written a book this great her first time out. I think you can definitely see that she's grown as a writer, and she's grown beautifully.
And I honestly don't know how else she could have ended it. So it's not like I can say, oh, it should have ended like.
Yeah, no, it was perfect. It was perfect for me. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. I absolutely loved it.
So we should rate it.
It's on Yeti territory. I'm just saying, like, best book of the year, Yeti territory. But I'm gonna give it a 5 unicorn because I really did love it.
I am gonna go with 4. Are we doing halves?
No.
4 unicorns then.
We're not doing horns, okay?
Okay. It didn't quite, I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't quite like the best book of the year for me.
No, I really enjoyed it. I love books like that. I love the characters, the plot, the writing, the interconnectivity. Loved it. So, all right, The Sun is Also a Star, so adios.
Bye.